Hello, Ho, Grant Richardson here. Before I start my next video, I'd just like to remind you that if you find these videos useful, please click the like button or share it with friends or subscribe or comment. Because if you do this, then it will help my videos be found by more people who need them. Okay, on to this video. When preparing for the IELTS speaking test, most candidates tend to focus on two of the four criteria: lexical resource, which is vocabulary, and grammatical range and accuracy, or grammar. They tend to neglect the other two criteria of the band descriptors, which are fluency and coherence and pronunciation. I've already made a video on pronunciation for Cantonese speakers of English. So in this video, I'm going to focus on a common fluency mistake. Before I tell you what the fluency problem is, I'll demonstrate it and let you guess what it is. During the rush hour, maybe 9 to 10 a.m., there is a lot of traffic congestion near my place. Was it obvious? Of course, the candidate was overusing filler words like and ah, and there was some unnecessary pausing in the middle of the sentence. These filler words like and unnecessary pausing between words in a sentence indicate that the candidate is having trouble thinking of how to say something, not what to say. And they're called language-related hesitations as opposed to content-related hesitations. These language-related hesitations affect your score because they distract the listener from focusing on what you're trying to say. If you have a look at the band descriptors, you'll see that for a band 7, they sometimes use language-related hesitations. A band 6 uses more, and these affect coherence. And a band 5 will rely on them, or they will rely on hesitations as well as alternative techniques such as repetition or self-correction to keep going. Now, I don't mean to say that you should never hesitate, because content-related hesitations will not affect your score, and there's no limitations as to how many times you can hesitate while you're thinking of what to say rather than how to say something. Looking again at the band descriptors, you'll see that all bands, including the highest band score of 9, have no limitations on the number of content-related hesitations. You'll also see that for a band 9, even though they're not allowed to make any language-related hesitations, that means they're not allowed to say or when they're thinking of a word, they are very rarely allowed to make self-corrections or repetitions. I mean, everybody will do that in their native language at some point. So that would suggest that language-related hesitations are by far the most important mistakes to avoid regarding fluency. Now, one technique that can help you avoid any language-related hesitations is chunking. And you might notice how I speak. I use pausing in between words inside a sentence. So I pick a place in the sentence that is an appropriate place to put a pause so that you can process that piece of information before I give you the next part of the sentence. So this is called chunking, and it's actually necessary to score 6 or more in pronunciation. So make sure you practice every day to use as few language-related hesitations as possible. And remember to use chunking to make your language sound more smooth and error-free and easier for the listener to process. which will improve your pronunciation score and also let you get a higher grammar score and vocabulary score by avoiding mistakes. And also remember that you can hesitate, you can say well, before you start speaking while you think of what to say and not how to say it.